Right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Pisces. Before I get into the cards, let me just mention it's going to be a specific message. So I did decide I just wanted to sit down for a minute and let my mind wander, and whatever popped out, I jotted it down for each zodiac. Pisces, I saw an envelope, and I don't know, it seemed like somebody was like folding something, putting it into an envelope. It seemed more like a card than like a bill or something like that. It didn't seem to be, not the whatever 8 by 11 size paper that would fit in like it was a bill, but more like a card, like a birthday card or something like that. I don't know if this is something that somebody was getting ready to mail to Pisces, or Pisces is mailing it out, or a reminder to mail something. Next, I saw somebody that needed to adjust their car seat or their mirrors. Like if somebody else drives our car, they're taller or shorter than us, everything can be in the wrong position. And before we start driving, it's like, make sure that, you can see the rear view, make sure that the side mirrors are set, make sure that the seat isn't too low or too high, for you to like properly move around in there. But that needs to be adjusted for like safety's sake. Then it was somebody needed to go shopping for new shoes. This could be for an event, or this could be somebody just has worn out shoes and it's like, like they're becoming uncomfortable, or it's, causing, other pain in the knee or the hip or something, because they need new shoes. And then I saw a table, and I don't know what it was about the table. The table was blank. There was nothing on it. First, it was like a table that we'd see in somebody's house. And then all of a sudden it was like a character was at a restaurant. Maybe this is just the question of like, do I want to go out to eat, or do I want to eat at home? Do I have anything to eat at home, or should I, just grab something? And then do I take it home and eat it by myself, or do I go to the restaurant and eat it there? But it just feels okay. So we start out with the Three of Cups. It might be that if we have Pisces saying, you know what, I was just going to go home and cook something, but honestly, I would need to go grocery shopping first. And then, okay, I could go grab food from a restaurant and take it home and eat it, but why do it by myself? They're friends I haven't seen in a while. Why don't I just say, hey, listen, I was going to go out to eat tonight because I don't want to go grocery shopping. It's too late. Do you want to just meet me for dinner? So I don't have to eat by myself. This could be a great time to like basically catch up with friends. And for some reason, it might be really important. Something could come out of a casual, like friends going out together, an impromptu. God, this could look great. We have a Queen of Pentacles and we have a Four of Cups. I do feel like there's some kind of message, or um, some kind of conversation, or I'll say gossip, but I don't think it's like mean spirited gossip that comes out. This could be somebody is like, hey, Pisces, as we're sitting here for dinner, have you heard from your ex lately? Because I bumped into him, and whew, they're looking pretty sad over you. I mean, it could be that maybe Pisces needs to hear this from somebody. Maybe there is some kind of like, there's a big regret. This could be that somebody is trying to ferry a message to Pisces about their regret. And maybe, sometimes we hear things through the grapevine. Yeah, there's an apology. I do feel like friends are going to tell Pisces that they bumped into somebody that Pisces knows, somebody who wants to say that they're sorry to Pisces. They may have even inquired, if you see Pisces, would you tell him I just wanted to say sorry? Would you tell him that I want to talk to him? Look, this could actually be very respectful and could actually make Pisces feel like, wow, I'm actually really glad I'm hearing this. It just feels like it's coming in, second or third hand. And it feels like it's very unexpected, but it's almost like if I hadn't bumped into these individuals, I wouldn't have heard this. Um, it feels very casual. It feels conversational. It feels, the thing is, it's a lot more meaningful than that. We have the Chariot upright, we have the Queen of Swords sideways. Pisces is going to have to decide what they want to do with this. It definitely feels like if somebody has wanted to say sorry, but they are ferrying that message through a third party, through friends, through something to Pisces. Pisces might not have gotten this message any other way. And now that they have, they can kind of think about it. Do I want to reach out and be like, hi, our mutual acquaintances told me that you had a conversation with them, that you wanted to have a conversation with me. I mean, I think if Pisces calls this person, they're going to be there in a minute. It's like, I'll roll up. It's a Wiz Khalifa moment. Whenever you call, baby, I'll roll up. And this could be, I could be there in 7 minutes. And for all I know, this, because I'm picturing something about that restaurant and that table, I'm wondering if Pisces goes out with friends, they have a dialogue, then at the end of that, friends leave, but Pisces stays, and this person shows up, and they can have an amicable conversation sitting right there in the restaurant or something. There's something here where Pisces has to decide if they would want that. But obviously, there is a potential for some eye-to-eye conversation. We have the moon, we have the Ten of Swords. This is really big for Pisces to decide. Let me ask myself, would I be better off not having any final conversations? Boo-hoo, so they're sad over me. Tough luck for them. Not my problem. I was hurt too, but it's over and I'm done. Or, okay, so this person wants to talk to me. They didn't have the courage to tell me, I'm hearing through with friends or something, but how do I feel? Have I already closed this chapter, or is this something I could use closure on? Let me just figure that out for myself. Seven of Wands, Knight of Wands, Five of Wands. I don't think Pisces knows right away. I think this is something, I don't know that Pisces can get this message and then instantly know their reaction. I think this is something Pisces might have to mull over, think about, contemplate, because it's like, if I see that person again, they might be somebody that I'm always going to be super attracted to, and I don't want to fall back under their spell, so to speak. If they acted like they were a player, if that's what I think of them, maybe I don't want to deal with them. If they were unfaithful or they were inconsistent, I don't want to deal with somebody like that. I don't care if they're sorry. It could be that Pisces is like, I got to work through my emotions about this and ask myself, do I need to hear from them? Just because somebody wants to reach out to Pisces does not mean Pisces has to let them. And I kind of appreciate that. I kind of appreciate the fact that Pisces doesn't have to do anything to let people in. Seven of Wands is upright. Again, we keep seeing the Seven of Wands. We've seen it twice. If this is somebody who either didn't pay enough attention to Pisces because they were still playing the field, and they, were like, oh, sorry, it took me 7 days to get back to you. Pisces might be like, honestly, I feel zero obligation to get back to them just because they're sorry. And they're, kind of shamefaced that they didn't reach out to me, and they told my friends, if you see Pisces, please tell them I said sorry. I would love to talk to them again. It kind of feels like Three of Swords is in the reverse, but the Emperor is sideways. I don't think Pisces was really devastated. I think it was a kind of an ucky way for things to end, especially if there was any kind of a question mark of their consistency. And then after that, they just kind of like didn't want to face the music. Knights oftentimes don't. Knights are action takers, not necessarily decision makers or people that are great with responsibility, but this has bothered them. What happened with Pisces has been a big blockage because I think they're ashamed of themselves. Plain and simple. I mean, they want to say sorry. If somebody's willing to tell a friend, I wish I could talk to Pisces. If you see Pisces, please tell them I want to talk to them. I want to say sorry to them. That's a pretty big, it's harder to sometimes let other people know that you feel like crap about something that you did. It's like, stand up and testify. I messed up. I did this, and they're telling more than even just Pisces. Like, I did this, and I don't like what I did. I would say this really, really has kind of eaten them up. The fact that they behaved in an immature way, or, just inconsistent or semi-disrespectful way. That Four of Cups is a ton of, they've certainly been thinking about this, and I'm thinking kind of obsessively thinking about this, which might be unusual for them. But regardless, just because Pisces hears this does not mean Pisces is going to be filled with, oh yes, my heart hurts now that I have to hear this all over again. If anything, Pisces is just like, you know what? Truthfully, I don't think that they're an emperor. And so there's nothing to be sad over. They weren't my one and only. They weren't my great love. So it's not really a heartbreak. Maybe it sucked the way it was handled, but you know what? They're embarrassed of themselves. Cool. They're growing as a person. Good for them. They're still not an emperor that I want, though. This is Pisces saying, honestly, I'm good. Nine of Pentacles. Pisces might even tell this person, don't worry about it. Yeah. I mean, you were kind of a player, whatever. But honestly, I got to tell you, not to be rude, but I wasn't really devastated. I think that's what Pisces is recognizing. Like, maybe I can just give this person absolution because I'm realizing this isn't a tragedy. We have the Knight of Pentacles again. So that is because we have two cards that look very similar, which is probably why you can tell it would be easy for me to accidentally slip one of the wrong cards into this other deck. So this Cosmic Seed deck is one that I'm actually using, but looks like there's two from another deck that shouldn't be in here but are because it's blue with that yellow eye. So interestingly enough, we have two Nine of Pentacles because we have kind of an unexpected card from a different deck that popped in. So we just doubled down on that message. Pisces is really very good. Pisces is not brokenhearted over this. And I think that's really nice for them to recognize. And I wonder if hearing that this person has been broken up over this is where Pisces is kind of, because Pisces was hurt. It was a bad ending, right? It was not pleasant. And Pisces didn't fully understand why things went the way they did. But when they think about it, it's like, big deal. So even if this person was a player, honestly, I wasn't that into him. And I almost think in the nicest of ways, I mean, I'm not saying Pisces is going to tell them that, like, oh, don't worry, I didn't think you were that hot. I don't think it's like that. I just think that Pisces is probably recognizing, you know what, I was never truly devastated over this because they weren't with the right person for me. I do know what I expect from an emperor, and they didn't have emperor qualities, and that's why it's not a big devastating loss. It's not even very insulting. It didn't make a ding in my self-worth at all. So in that case, can Pisces go ahead and say, if anything, Pisces might be like, honestly, babe, I never took you very serious because you're not serious material. And that's the truth of it. You were fun. You're a great kisser. Maybe we'll even have some fun together, but you're not somebody that I consider long-term material. And I don't think that this is Pisces. I don't think they'll say it that rudely, okay? Although maybe they will just because it's above board now. It's like, listen, you didn't break my heart because I already knew that you were player material. You're a good time Charlie or Charlene. You're here for a good time, not a long time. And you're real fun. We could have some no strings attached fun, but my heart's not going to be broken by you because I'm not putting serious intentions because I can see the way you operate. And I'm not mad at you for it. That's kind of what the realization here is. Look, I don't know. For all I know, Pisces is going to wind up saying, like, yeah, let's have some fun. We can still have no strings attached. Messenger of Swords, I literally think Pisces might just openly and honestly say, I think I have realized that you crossed my path because you are enjoyable and delightful and sexy. And also, you help me realize what it is I'm really looking for in long term partnerships. And this is not what a long term partnership would look like for me, but I appreciate you for everything that you are. I kind of think that this is very sweet, even though maybe I haven't said it in a nice way. I tried to, but I don't know that it came out that well. It's not like Pisces is saying like you aren't anything. You're just you know a plaything to me. I don't think it's that at all. So I hope I didn't come out saying that way. I just think to say I appreciate what you've been in my life, which is an experience and somebody who's fun. And I wouldn't say that I didn't learn something about what I'm looking for thanks to having met you. This actually feels like, some relationships in our life are not going to be the end all be all, and they can still be enjoyable and they don't have to be disrespectful. I don't know if this person is still hoping to have a lot more with Pisces because they seem to have a lot of regrets. Like they think that they lost a pretty great person because they were not offering much more than fun. But for Pisces, I don't see Pisces thinking about this person as more than an enjoyable experience. And even one they might still want to interact with, all said and done. So it's a bit of a plot twist in this because it could be that Pisces is less interested in them than they are in Pisces, which is ironic because they were the player and things ended badly, only to see this whole storyline do like a jujitsu flip all of a sudden. And it's like, actually, we could just have fun. And I don't know if they're going to be down for fun because I think that they're developing more feelings for Pisces. Kind of an interesting plot twist on this one. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.